Hello everyone, welcome back to another video and I am from House of Education here. I'm really sorry for uploading the video so late, but we'll be continuing chapter 2, so welcome. Welcome to the class. The Indian summer vacations are just getting over, and in other countries I think they're starting, like the Gulf countries, because of the heat there. So we will be start continuing after stomach. We completed stomach, but there was some information left behind, like the stomach's wall produced hydrochloric acid, and hydrochloric acid helps in activating a digestive juice or a digestive enzyme, I may say, called pepsin. For it's responsible for the digestion of proteins. So the hydrochloric acid, it helps in activating of pepsin. And then hydrochloric acid is really dangerous acid, because the acid is an industrial solvent, or I can say industrial liquid, that helps in dissolving the metals or creating, like, if it's not for the mucus in our stomach, it can pierce through our skin and come out. So our stomach, the walls of our stomach produce a slimy substance called mucus. The substance which is found in your nose also. The mucus protects our stomach from the hydrochloric acid. Or else the hydrochloric acid is very dangerous for our skin and for any other purpose on the human body or on any living thing, living organism. Okay, so we can continue with our next topic which we were about to start, but for out of time, that is the small intestine. Small intestine. Small intestine. The small intestine is a highly coiled structure. I will show you. It's like it's like this. Something like that. But it's it's highly coiled structure, and its length is 7.2 meter. A very valuable information for your exams. It absorbs the food, absorbs the nutrients from the food, to be precise, nutrients from the food, and also helps in assimilation. Assimilation. So what happens is, when the food is taken through our esophagus, it is pushed down through the movement of some muscles, then it lands in our stomach, where the any living bacteria is killed and other enzymes are activated and proteins are digested. Then it comes to our small intestine, where there are small finger like structures like this. See, if this is one if this is one part of the small intestine, then there are structures like this. Okay, so the food has to go through these structures, and they increase the absorption surface area for better absorption. So what happens here is that there are blood vessels. Now I hope you know what are blood vessels. Blood vessels linked to these finger like structures. Then when the food passes through this, the nutrients are absorbed in the blood vessels and transferred to different parts of the body through the blood. And for this, mainly hemoglobin in the blood. Hemoglobin. Hemoglobin. You have to remember, this is what makes our blood red and also transfers food or transports food from the small intestine to the to other parts of the body. Then another thing about the small intestine is it also secretes many digestive juices and enzymes. Most of the digestion is done in the small intestine and small intestine. Then the food goes to this long journey in the small intestine and ends up in the large intestine. So this large intestine has a length of 1.5, I guess. Yes, 1.5 meter, around about 1.5 meter, and is not highly coiled, but it's type of like this. This is the large intestine, and this is the small intestine, like this. And in the large intestine, basically nothing happens. In the large intestine, the undigested residue of the food which is not needed by our body or maybe cannot be digested, comes in the large intestine, and the water and some salts are absorbed from it in the large intestine, and then it passes out into the rectum. It was a short explanation for the large intestine. It's actually short. Rectum. Now, rectum. So, the undigested residue, which is called as stool, or maybe to make you understand, it's okay. It goes inside the rectum and stays there. The rectum is a bag like this. So, rectum is a bag like this, and it opens into. Wait. So, the undigested residue, or you can say poop, the fecal matter, um, slightly moist, it stays in the rectum, and the rectum, time to time, the walls of the rectum move and disposed of our anus. This is anus, this is rectum, and this is poop. So mm, it it takes it out, it goes out through the anus, and our digestion is complete. So this is the long time for digestion, and it usually takes 2 to 5 hours depending on what you ate. Maybe it takes more than that. The most time, like the longest time is it takes is for non-veg food like chicken is very difficult to digest. That's why it takes very much time. But it is also very healthy. And now we have learned about the human digestive system, but we have many more things to learn. So let's learn one more mode of digestion, but that too in animals. And in animals, I didn't mean that lions and all, they all have the same digestive structures like us almost. But cows, goats, giraffes, and other grass eating animals eating. Sorry, my stylus is not working, people. Sorry, guys. So I'm not able to write properly. Animals, grass eating animals. So when they eat, have you ever noticed that a cow keeps on chewing something even though it hasn't taken something inside? Why is that? Because it's chewing its cud. Now I'll explain you all that. Why don't we humans eat grass? Because it's not good, or because it's dirty? It's not like that. You can wash grass and eat, but we don't eat it because is not it cannot be digested by humans because it has a carbohydrate, I should say, which carbohydrate which can only be digested by grass eating animals, and that carbohydrate's name is cellulose. And everyone, we are missing a point in the small intestine. It receives the digestive juices from liver and pancreas. Pancreas give it the pancreatic juice, and liver give it the bile juice. The bile juice is stored in a sac called the gallbladder, which a gallbladder and the pancreatic juice are only released when the food is inside, so it has no sac for storing. Then that's all. Then we should continue with our cellulose thingy. The cellulose is a carbohydrate that can only be digested by grass eating animals. You want to know why? So here's the answer. When they take the food in, their esophagus is like this because the cow's face is like this. It goes down. Yeah, giraffe's esophagus is very, very long, long. Yes, there was a power cut. Long. So it goes like this. Then it lands in a place called rumen, and it stays there for some time. And after some time, it again goes back to its mouth and it starts chewing it to get it extra digested. Then it goes back into a place called cecum, which is between the large intestine and the small intestine, where it is the carbohydrate cellulose is digested by certain action of certain bacteria which are not present in us. Then what happens is obvious that it goes to the large intestine, follows the procedures in which process the same type of procedures like a human's large intestine, then it gets expelled out of the body. So this was why we can't eat grass, but they can eat grass. Then the next thing then we have learned the digestion in many big animals, but now it's our chance, or it's our turn to study like animals like this. Sorry, animals, animals like this. They don't have any shape, and this image which I'm drawing is from a microscope. Do you understand what I say? They are microscopic organisms, and you have guessed it, it's amoeba. Amoeba are found in different shapes and sizes. So we will continue the digestion in amoeba tomorrow, day after tomorrow, or the next hour. Bye bye, and I hope you like the video. Please like and subscribe, and if you have any doubts, please comment down below. Thank you, and bye.